Hello world, PDR coming at you here with my top 10 dent tools that I use to basically take out any dent. The vape isn't one of them, but let's just go through them. I've been asked to do this video a lot lately, and for the last year I've been saying I'm going to do it, but this is basically the first 10 tools that I would grab out of my bag to do any dent, be it a door or a hood or anything. So, and I guess my names for them, because I've got names for all of my tools. I would always say hammy and tappy is my number one tools that I'd start off with, being the hammer and the tapper. Now this I have grown accustomed to replacing with the Shane Jack's tool, which can be both of them. It can be a hammer and a tapper. I use it for mainly blending, but it's almost replaced this completely. I have some extra tappers that I use. My guard, wedge and guard, would be 2 and 3. Okay, tool number 2 and tool number 3 would be wedge and guard. I do have a professional guard that's, you know, high quality plastic that's made to be a really good window guard. But honestly, guys, I had a dealership with a license plate. Like, I didn't have my guard one day about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and grabbed a piece of license plate plastic. Excuse the background noise. We're gonna have a loud truck drive by in 3, 2, 1. And I stuck this thing in there and literally been using it ever since, daily. So I don't know what kind of plastic this is, but it's this rubbery kind of plastic that works great. And that's my wedge and my guard to get in there. Obviously, rag and wax. Now the name for rag is rag. The name for wax is spooge. But I use a 3M Perfected polish, and literally that stock number is the one you'd want to get. It's a really, really high quality polish and very, very light compound. Obviously, my board is the number one accessory that I've got to use. When I stick this on a car, I gotta see the dent. So the light board is a Linkdn 20-inch light board with the Milwaukee base. Now the door jammer, we'll just leave that for the end. Out of my rods, I got number 1, and I always say I'm going to grab my number 1 tool. Number 1 is an 18-inch hook that, I don't know if you guys can see the numbers here, but it's an 18-inch hook with a 90-degree bend and a real rounded tip. But if you look at my tip, I've actually used this tool for so much that it's worn this tip almost flat in this area. And then I got orange, which is my, I think it's a 30. It's a 30-inch tool with a 45-degree bend and a fairly sharp tip on it. I keep it fairly straight, but I have had to bend it a few times to give it the old when I needed to. And then we got Bertha, which I think is a 33. Bertha's a 33-inch tri-bend with a flat wedge tip. So great tool. I mean, this is my number 1 rear door tool when I'm going in on a larger dent or in this much area where I got to get to it. Then I got a little clutch. This was a 34-inch tool. I guess if it was straight, it might even be 35 or 36, but I bent it up a bunch, and I just sneak in between braces, reel down low in a door if I need to. This one gets me in a lot of places. And honestly, guys, out of my entire set, I probably have 20 rods, but maybe more, but these 4 I use most of the time. In my later years of dents, what I've been doing a lot, and what I would suggest to any dent guy, is using this tool. I call it gun, but it's a heat gun, and getting the dents warm is a must. Now, if you're doing a dent on a door and you got to come in through the little hole that's factory made right by the handle, or you have to make your own hole or use a drain plug from the bottom, you're going to need a door jammer. And I've always had a door jammer. I'm going to open this one up once again. Sorry about the background noise. I'm going to open this one up live on camera right now. But this is a Steck door jammer, model number 17,000. And it's basically the same one I've used for 20 years. I recently left my old one in a customer's car Not smart, but it happens. And so I had to get a new one. And now I'll show you. This is just one of those things that you don't need that often, but when you do need it, you need this exact tool. I mean, or something real close. So that the putting the hammer in the door and bungee cording it closed just doesn't work. It doesn't work for leverage. And it's kind of the cheap workaround when it comes to door jamming. But I've always used a stacked door jammer, real nice tool. You put that where the door closes and that where the door, on the door itself, and lock it up and cinch it, and super nice tool. Definitely a must. But I would also say this is the least used tool that I would use out of all these, and one of the least used tools in my bag. I think I've even had some videos where I've held the door open with my shoulder and done the dent and just said, I didn't bring my door, or I didn't grab my door jammer. And his name is Jammer. So yeah, we got board, we got hammy tappy, guard, wedge, spooge, rag, number 1, Bertha, orange, clutch, and then all my other tools have names, but you gotta keep track of them. And so at this point in the video is when I'd say I sure do appreciate you guys clicking on this video. I really do. If you would hit that subscribe button, it sure helps out the channel. Basic dent tools, and you know what they're going to be used for. Basically, you know, wedging open the window, getting down then in there, having that board on the other side of it, doing the dent. Oops, you made a little bit too high of a push. Tap the push down, turn off the board, and then hit it with the old, and you're done. Meanwhile, the whole time using that. And I think, guys, I hope this helps you out. If it did, throw me a like on the way out. Otherwise, this has been PDR, and I'm out. Peace.